So in this video, we're looking at the multiplication rule of probability. This follows on from a previous video where we looked at simplified tree diagrams. You can see our simplified tree diagram here. And it's all to find out this. If I was to reach in a bag of marbles and pull out one marble, look at it, put it back, pull out the next marble, look at it, put it back, what is the probability that you would find two blue marbles? Now, if you look at your simplified tree diagram here, the only branch, the only alternate universe in which this occurs is right along the top here. Blue marble, followed by blue marble. So this is the only thing that we care about. What's the probability of that happening? So we can say that's the probability of two blues. Okay, so we'll come back to that in a minute. First of all, let's formalize our multiplication rule. Now, the multiplication rule says that the probability of A and B happening. So the probability of one event and another event happening. I don't want to say at the same time, but both occurring. So let's say the probability of you remembering to do your homework and you remembering to take the trash out, let's say. Now, the probability of both of those things happening, what is it? Maybe you do your homework 80% of the time and you take the trash out 50% of the time. So doing some probability, we can figure out what's the probability of you doing both of those actions. Now, in this case, what's the probability of us doing it? Pulling out a blue marble, and then what's the probability of us pulling out a second blue marble? It's equal to the probability of one event times, I'm going to put a time sign in here, but it's not necessary, times the probability of the second event. Now, in the trash example I just said, the probability of you doing your homework and taking out the trash is equal to the probability of homework times the probability of taking out the trash. I said homework had an 80% chance, and I said trash had a 50% chance. So the probability that on any given day you do both of those things is 0.4, or there's a 40% chance. Okay, so coming back to the thing we actually cared about, the two blue marbles, the probability of two blues is equal to the probability of one blue, or first blue I should say, times the probability of second blue. Now that's going to be equal to 3/9 times 3/9. So the probability that if you reach into this bag and you pull out a marble, you look at it, you put it back, pull out a marble, you look at it, put it back. Probability that you'll pull out two blue marbles is 3 in 9 times 3 in 9, which is 9 in 81, which is 1 in 9. Okay, so a lot of work's gone into this. We've had to do a couple of things. We've had to figure out how to do a simplified tree diagram. Then we've looked at the multiplication rule of probability. In the next video, we're going to look at the addition rule of probability, which is going to allow us to solve an even more difficult question. All right, that's the multiplication rule of probability.